Welcome one and all to a video about fictional magical school children who go to a boarding school and ride broomsticks and stuff, but who also presumably do not relieve themselves where they stand. So that's a +1. That's a bonus. Great. No, it's not. More Harry Potter lore reveals. Thank God. For one moment we're free. That's right, it's a video about our favourite little witch, Mildred Hubble, the worst witch of all. Before Harry Potter took over our entire lives in the late 90s and I found myself making a remember-all out of like a little gacha ball and a piece of paper that I coloured in red. Oh, I was a crafty little tadpole. And arranging a cardboard box full of Hogwarts supplies. We had a different magical child to read about. It's like my hat, by the way. Do you like it? It's a witch hat. You understand what I'm doing. All the visuals here are truly high quality. In The Worst Witch, a series of children's books written by Jill Murphy and initially published? Sure. Initially published in 1974 and adapted into a CITV series in 1998, we follow the disastrous adventures of Mildred Hubble, an unfortunate little witch girl with endless bad luck and a tabby cat instead of a black cat. Whoa! What kind of... Who? Can you believe it? I do know there's a new Worst Witch series that started in 2017, but I haven't seen it, and I'm only going to be talking about the hot nostalgic media from my childhood in this video, you know, because I remember it, so you'd... Sorry, I felt something wrong inside me there for a moment. Anyway, Section 1. The girl who apparently is alive somehow. Mildred is our painfully relatable, goofy protagonist. As the series title suggests, she's the worst witch. The worst one. She's not good. Her witchliness is a series of embarrassments, mistakes, misunderstandings, and generally nervous happenings. She is not good at being a witch. In contrast to Harry Potter's celebrated position as the chosen one, the special famous boy plucked from a life of abuse and obscurity and transported into some magical new world where he's all of a sudden loved, admired, and treated as an icon, as well as able to discover he's pretty naturally gifted at magic, skilled and capable in various areas of his new life, and welcomed as an insider to a place he finally belongs, you know, and immediately so. He's like, I am a wizard. Cool. That's where the switch has flipped. Everything's kind of great for him, apart from the whole like Voldemort thing. But you know, aside from that, just little things like that are a problem. Just little things like war. Anyway, unlike Harry Potter, Mildred Hubble is a disaster girl. She's an outsider kind of in a different way. She's a klutz, she's awkward in every moment, always in the wrong place at the wrong time, pretty bad at school, prone to being picked on, and profoundly misunderstood. As a child imagining a fantastical magical world full of spells and excitement, Harry Potter is great escapist fantasy, but perhaps especially for the nervous among us, Mildred Hubble's experience of magical life is an interesting and maybe more realistic exploration of magical fantasy, and the stresses of being a little human in the face of life's weird, stupid, and confusing challenges. Because that's not going to be different if you're magic. Might be worse. Being treated with derision and disdain is an ongoing thing for her. Her school isn't a magical escape from a life of abuse, but a place of bullying and failure just like anywhere would be. It's not an escape, just another place where good and bad things can happen. Magic or no magic, whatever kind of cat you have. She tries her best and she clearly has good intentions and cares deeply about those around her, but she is the worst witch. She's the worst one. She's bad at being a witch, and that's relatable on so many levels, so many kids, but also makes sense if you're imagining, as many children might do, what it would be like if you could be a witch. You'd probably be bad at magic. It's reasonable to assume you'd be terrible at magic. You'd be like, hey, how do I put myself in Fortnite? And then you find out a way to do that, and then you get trapped in Fortnite and die. The plight of a magical child in the year 2019. Do you think witches and wizards would have like their own video games that were very distinct? And if so, what would they look like? Please respond in video form, thanks. I think this is the main thing that made The Worst Witch so great to me as a child. You could see her just constantly getting herself into more and more unfortunate scenarios, and you felt for her and were also like, wow, me. She was a normal, kind, sweet disaster girl, and I loved her. Also, her long plaits were a look. They were a look. I love the book illustrations a lot, and it always makes me want to have like plaits that are really incredibly long, like down to my knees, and then I can slap people with them. That's the ultimate magic. Okay, so I'm looking at some of the illustrations from the book here, and I love the kind of sense of movement that they have. I love the cross-hatching, and I love the way her plaits are like moving through the air. The cat is terrified. The look on the cat's face. I love it. And there's such a sense of emotion to them, and I love the style. Here she is on a broomstick. You know what? I don't think this is safe for a cat. I have some questions about that. But again, you know, her plaits are flying through the air, and it's a great sense of movement and everything. There's a lot going on here. I like that they wear striped socks as part of their school uniform. That's fun. Look at all the animals, all the cats, and then there's a pig, and everyone's like, okay, what? Great. And here's another one on the broomstick. There's a lot of illustrations of her on the broomstick. I feel like the broomstick was really a staple of these stories. But again, we see a lot of movement in her plaits, and obviously her hat's falling off, and the absolute, like, terror of the cat. The cat's kind of just like, oh, please, not again, please, oh. And here she is with her cat again. Her poor cat. Her cat must be suffering more than her, really. But I love the shape, you know, that her plaits are hanging straight down, and she's like, just like the shape of her body, and so I love that it's the way that it's drawn, like, anatomically. It's cool. And also here is Maud Moonshine. I'm including this picture because she stole my look, really. That's my look. Maud, stop it. And here's Millie in bed. And finally a picture where the cat looks happy. The cat is you know, just pleased to, for once, not be in the air. But yeah, I love these illustrations so much. They're a big part of why I loved the Worst Witch series when I read it. What a great series. I love it. But that's enough about the Worst Witch itself. Today I want to talk about its short-lived sequel series, Weirdsister College, which aired in 2001 and centered around Mildred swapping her magical boarding school for a magical college. Because she's in her late teens now. She likes coffee. She's gotta get a part-time job. It's 2001. Section 2. It's 2001, baby. So Mildred now goes to cool magic teen college. She cuts her super long plaits off into a cool edgy short hairstyle, and it's like, whoa, it's the 2000s. Like in The Worst Witch, Mildred gets into some scrapes. Some of them involve snakes. Some of them involve naughty emo boy who loves to sneer. He's kind of a love interest, but also a villain. So that's fun. They have a weird little goth 18th century dream sequence moment at one point, which is kind of amazing.
Nick!
I didn't mean to startle you, Millie.
But I mean, what kind of teenage witch doesn't want some kind of grayscale ball gown fantasy? It's great. It's so great.
If we combine our powers, we could do so many wonderful things. We could make the world a better place.
It's good. It's the theme tune is good. It's trying to be like Buffy or maybe Charmed, but for a 12-year-old British child with 7 quavers stuffed into her mouth at once at all times. That child? That child was me. I can fit more quavers in now, so we've all progressed in myriad ways. There's some really good dialogue in this show. Incredible dialogue.
This is what we earn, our college income, and this is what Professor Starfinder has spent on his experiments. It cannot go on, it really cannot. We'll be bankrupt before you can say Yankee Doodle Dandy.
Yankee Doodle Dandy. I'm constantly saying that. Also, Beetle is Jim Sterling. Prove me wrong. Her mannerisms are exactly like Jim Sterling, and I half expect her to start talking about the Steam store at any given moment. I really keep expecting her to be like, AAA! So the main thing here is that Mildred's transitioned from an awkward, shy, plait-wearing schoolgirl to an awkward, shy, magical Cambridge college student. She's not so much of a clumsy, unfortunate little girl anymore, and instead gets into scrapes via her unwieldy teen powers, which are for some reason being tested on in her spare time by a random American wearing a lab coat. Because there's always one.
Ready, Mildred?
It itches.
Don't worry. It's just the interaction between the magic field generator and the mental accelerator potion we put on your scalp. It's normal to feel a slight tingling sensation.
More like a major itching sensation.
Can you put up with it?
And also via the naughty gothic boy who she initially has a crush on before pivoting to Mr. Extremely Normal, a boy who works in the local cafe and who is not bestowed with magical powers or the knowledge of their existence. But he gives her free coffee sometimes, and as we all know, that's way easier than having a boyfriend who does spells.
What's this?
On the house.
I kidding.
It's just a cup of coffee. Enjoy it.
Thanks.
Ladies, if a man gives you a hot beverage, that's it. What more could you ask for? Nothing. It's kind of fun how she likes the mysterious alternative moody boy, but ultimately negs him fully when he appears to be an actual definitively bad lad. It's kind of a fun dynamic, maybe especially coming from such an incredibly earnest character as Mildred, played completely straight, because she's so timid. But she's like, not having that. No, sir.
Send you to tour me around, did they?
Nobody sent me. I came because I wanted to.
Really? And what does boyfriend Ben have to say about that?
Says you're a maniac.
And what do you say?
I say you're clever.
And extremely handsome.
Extremely vain.
And twisted?
And if you knew all the answers, why did you ask?
You know what's a real turn off for me? It's evil. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, okay? I just don't, I don't like evil, but I do like coffee, so, you know, evil, coffee, I'll take the coffee, I don't know, which is really the opposite of my personal preference. I'll take the evil, thank you. Hey, I don't like coffee, but evil, I can get behind that. In one episode, Mildred's friends get into some anti-capitalist protest when their local cafe is threatened with repossession.
Students, if you want to fight injustice in this town, then look no further than Misery's. There, a hard-working single mother is has been ejected from a home and business by the might of global capitalism.
As a result, Mildred discovers the horrors of low-wage manual labour, and also her friend just bothers her at work the whole time, which kind of stresses me out. Like, go away, she's at work. Let her do her job.
Hoover, bucket, mop. I'll be back in half an hour. If I'm satisfied, the job's yours.
The guy who hires her is amazing. Also, like, he his acting. Woohoo!
Now I get lots of students coming here. For all I know, you might be Einstein with all your essays and all that malarkey. But in my experience, either you're a natural with a mop and bucket, or you're not. You do want the job, don't you?
Yes.
Right.
He's my dad. Of course, this whole situation is solved by time travel, which, as we all know, is the best way to get one over on a landlord. The only way. My favourite relatable teen problem explored in this show, however, is snakes. I know that I, for one, was plagued by the constant sudden appearance of snakes as a teen. So I watched this and I'm like, oh yeah, the snakes. Ugh. Snakes and evil emo boys. The bane of all of our lives, really. Section 3. Snakes will never stop a shy magical girl. Yeah, most of the time, anyway. In The Worst Witch, I loved the positioning of Mildred Hubble as this downtrodden outcast who tried really hard and kind of pulled through despite endless screw-ups and bullying and misunderstanding and a harsh boarding school existence.
They both think they fancy Millie.
Is this true?
I think so, Miss Cackle, and it's horrible.
And in Weirdsister College, it's really cool to see her transition towards a more adult role and a somewhat more confident and assertive persona, but still with this very quiet, worried, earnest character. There's a delightful sort of shyness to her that feels really endearing and comforting, and like, you know, oh yeah, people like this exist, and they're fine. You know, like there's something, it's nice to have a character like that and to be like, oh yeah, okay, Like, she's gonna be okay. Snakes, boys, financial problems, don't even worry about it. Mildred will probably be super nervous at every moment, but she'll figure it out. And I love that, and I find that valuable on a personal level. She's not some cool kick-ass witch wearing a biker jacket and holding a knife or something. She's an extremely normal, shy girl. She's a protagonist for the nervous in a lot of ways, and I love that. Side note, I want a series where she's a middle-aged woman who loves watching Witch Miss Marple or something, and she gets into scrapes because she gets scammed, like, she gets involved in a magical fishing scam. I think that'd be great. And also, more snakes. Nothing more relatable than snakes. I'm the worst witch. The worst witch is me. Hot beverages.